Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I want to read you something before I get going. This is from my sponsor, Link2. Coinbase was valued below Ripple in 2021 for less than $10 billion when we launched our platform in 2020. Since then, the company went public at a $86 billion market cap, now trades close to $50 billion market cap. Meanwhile, Ripple kept growing privately during the 4-year-long lawsuit with regulators. Given the recent positive ruling and increased bipartisan support for crypto, Ripple may not be as constrained to remain silent anymore. Yet, you can still invest in Ripple on Link2 at $7.7 billion valuation. Key highlights. In their Q2 2024 report, XRP Markets report, Ripple reported holding 4.8 billion XRP and 40.1 billion XRP in escrow. At today's valuation, that would be worth $25 billion. Ripple just started beta testing RLUSD, their stablecoin on the XRP Ledger. They aim to shake up the stablecoin market with RLUSD, which company projects could grow to 2.8 trillion by 2028. While also targeting tokenization of real-world assets and the potential launch of an XRP ETF. No brainer. You can check out, they have Ripple private equity on the platform. Go to linqto.com. Check it out. Look, I was there. I wanted to preserve this moment. This was a screenshot when I was there listening to Donald Trump and Elon Musk. This thing, my understanding, has been viewed over 1 billion times now. I think we were a part of history. Speaking of history, Elon Musk said that this thing's got over 1 billion views. This is from a tweet I found. CNN's average, these are all the bad guys, the propaganda media. CNN's average viewership has dipped below 500,000. Roughly the average audience for MSNBC and a third of Fox News. So folks, there is no viewership in the old school propaganda media. This is why they're all freaking out about Elon Musk and X. But what their real problem is that the one way that they could solve their problem of not having any viewership and being pissed off that Elon Musk is getting viewership, the one way to solve their problem is what they cannot and will not do, and that is tell the truth. Because that is all that X represents. People are jumping over themselves to go listen to somebody tell the truth because they know they're being lied to on CNN. They know they're being lied to on MSNBC. They know that it's a bunch of propaganda. But people are done with all of this, these lies. Speaking of, here's the Tether CEO.
The problem that I have with, and we have with MiCA, is that instead of making the system more secure, is actually creating an incredibly big systemic risk, not only for stablecoins, but also for the underlying banking system.
Now, a few exchanges have delisted Tether because of these difficulties. Can you address this specific issue?
Yeah, so first of all, there is a little bit of misconception. I think USDT is still available on OKX and Binance and so on. The problem with the limits imposed by MiCA is that there are two types of limits. There is the limits that are reducing the, let's say, or making the stablecoin volume and issuance limited. So it means that there are like limits on the circulation and so on. We don't have any issues with those. Those are the type of limits that makes the system more secure. But then there are other types of limits. So limits to the reserves. And you would think, oh, well, the limits to the reserves should make the stablecoin safer. Actually, my problem and our problem at Tether, we are the first ones that raised the problem, when everyone else was very, very shy, is that the limits are requesting that for a stablecoin like USDT, 60% of the reserves should be kept in cash deposits into a bank. Why that is a problem is because cash deposits are non-insured, uninsured above 100,000 euros in Europe. If you're a stable coin and you have 10 billion euros under management, and you are only insured up to 100,000 euros, that is a big problem. Because we have seen what happens with Silicon Valley Bank and our main competitor in 2023. They had 3.3 billion in cash deposits in Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank went belly up, we all know about that. And our main competitor almost died. So I think we have a very, very recent example why that is a bad idea. The bank goes bankrupt because it cannot meet your redemption request, because that is, it's a bank run in all facts. And you go belly up as a stable coin, so you fail, you go bankrupt as well, because you were relying on a bank that was...
Oh, I understand what he's saying there. The problem with what he's saying is, what's his solution? Is his solution, okay, you're not going to put it in cash in the banks, and so that nobody can see it, and you're not going to let someone audit you, a real auditing firm audit you. So in other words, because those banks went down and Circle had a bunch of cash in them, then we think it's a better option for us not to show you where it is and not be audited. And you can just trust us, please. Folks, this clip right here is what it's always been about. When you hear me say it was never Bitcoin, what I mean by that is it was never a digital asset with no utility. Where this story was always going to end is with digital assets with utility.
One of the things we all have to remember is that the value of a token over the long term is really going to be derived by its utility. What problem is it solving? How big is that problem? How many customers do you have? There's no question there's a lot of hype in this system, and I don't actually think that's a good thing. For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other. Our view is you can use a digital asset like XRP to do that in real time. Because XRP has been so efficient, it settles a transaction about 3 seconds compared to Bitcoin.
So it just passes through that currency for that period of time.
That's correct. One of the things we all have to remember...
That's correct. Here's Mark Yusko. He gets it.
So it's going to be trillions and trillions, $700 trillion of assets. Well, why does that matter? Well, the trust industry takes about 6 to 8% of global GDP to make it work. Lawyers' fees, accountants' fees, auditing fees, bank fees, settlement fees, all kinds of fees. And the bankers love those fees because that's their revenues. So why do they hate Bitcoin? Why do they hate Ethereum? Why do they hate XRP? Because it displaces the need for trust. Because we have truth. And that truth in a decentralized world running on computers that manage themselves through block rewards, we don't need the banking system anymore.
Uh-oh. Check this out. XRP Cafe, SBI and XRP Cafe are joining forces. We're proud to announce the strategic partnership. SBI, what is SBI DC? I don't know what the DC part is. To utilize XRP Ledger with our services, together we aim to connect businesses, creators, and users in Japan with the XRP Ledger. Check this out. Here it is. New evidence that Kamala Harris will continue crypto crackdown. Her advisor choices suggest she will keep Biden's hostile attitude towards crypto. Harris is working with Brian Dees and Bharat Ramurti, two key anti-crypto officials from the Biden administration. The guy's got a whole thread on this, but I'm going to make it simpler for you. Look at this. This is from Nick Carter. These are the people that Kamala is wanting to put in charge. The architects of Choke Point 2.0. This guy that she wants to work with right here. Okay? He's the main one. And then, of course, she hasn't said anything bad about Gary Gensler, Elizabeth Warren. These are the people that are running this whole show, folks. Ryan Selkis is calling everybody out, too. Yo Trustless, Ryan Adams, Jason Yanowitz, Mike, I don't know his name. Happy to work, game is over, fall in line. Happy to work on a joint letter together outlining crypto's demands before giving any welcome to Democrats. But you all continue sitting on the fence. Continuing to sit on the fence isn't independence, it's treason. Then he says, little Marco Cuban and Scaramucci are Democrat bootlickers, not crypto pioneers or defenders of tech or our Constitution. No wonder they get along with wacky, waving, inflatable, arm-flailing tube man Ro Khanna. There's no boot they won't lick to get invites to the White House. I mean, folks, you can only go on with this charade, this idea that somehow these people that have been trying to destroy crypto for 4 years, somehow now they're going to all of a sudden change their tune. No. Elizabeth Warren isn't changing anything. And neither is Kamala Harris. Now, in DAI XRP, we're going to show you more of what's unfolding from the, I can't say the A word, but you know that time that X47, someone tried to get a you-know-what and end his life. We're going to talk about that in the group here. The censorship is being cranked up now in social media, just so you know, folks. So I have to be careful now. That's why I created the group in DAIXRP.com. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not. Oh, by the way, we're also going to talk in there about what ETHGATE really was. You know, during ETHGATE, there was a time, and I can't remember who told me, but there was a time when it was said in so many words that Jay Clayton kind of was taken aback by the idea that all these people would be so upset. And the reason he was taken aback is because him and his friends and all these people, they've been running rackets like this for decades. This is how they do business. They just didn't plan on pissing off the XRP army. That was the difference. And so for the first time really probably in history, the people rose up against one of these agencies because the people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They've had enough. They've had enough of being walked over. They've had enough of losing everything they have because of a government that bails their friends out at the expense of everybody else. They've had enough. Americans have had enough. Well, I'm going to show you what really ETHGATE was. I'm going to show you what it really was. I'm a digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. And what Jay Clayton really is. I'm a digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family. Here we go.